Instructional design, learning experience design, user experience design. In what ways are they similar or different? Today we have Mandy, a graduate student in educational technology and applied learning sciences at Carnegie Mellon University, to talk with us about what she thinks. So at the very beginning, let's hear a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So currently I am a master's student majoring in educational technology and applied learning science at Carnegie Mellon University. And before that, I just gained my bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I gained my teaching certificates there. My teaching specialized in elementary education and special education. And also I want to see the potential of educational technology. And yeah, since my program, the acronym is called MEDALS, is part of the HCI Human Computer Interaction Institute inside the Carnegie Mellon University. So we have a lot of product design classes as well and UX classes. So I also have the chance to take those and get myself engaged with the product design process.
So now coming down to the theme of today's interview is really to kind of discuss the differences and similarities between these three or among these three fields.
Sure. While my current perspective is that I think UX design differs a lot from instructional design. That's pretty obvious. But the learning experience design is a little bit combination of the UX design, but more leaning towards the instruction side. I will mainly focus on the major differences among UX and instruction. So they are both creating products, while the deliverables are different. For UX, they're designing all kinds of either physical or digital products or services, while for instructional design, it's mainly focusing on curriculum or learning contents. So the final deliverable are very, very different, while the target users are also different. For UX design, the target users are the users who use the services or the products. And for instructional design, the users are the learners, whoever are taking the contents or the curriculum. So I think this is the major difference between UX design and instructional design. So for instructional design, it's like we find the needs. I think both instructional design and product design follow this kind of model. It's just the context and the users are different, as I mentioned. So first of all, you all need to find what are unfulfilled need and unsatisfied need from the users or the learners. And then you have the problem statement, and then you validate users' needs or learners' knowledge gaps, for example. And then you have the statement and you propose what are the objectives. It could be the objectives for a product. It could be the learning objectives in this way. And then you have alternative hypothesis of how you can actually deliver a solution. So for product, you could brainstorming some ideas and show like a storyboard, just like what I shown in my portfolio. While for instructional design, you could design several potential contents and discuss with your teammates and see whether those contents are good solutions. After that, you have the parameter development, which in UX, you are actually designing something using wireframes and prototype. And then for instructional design, now you have the overall structure for the curriculum. You are adding learning contents, building videos, adding audios, adding learning interactive activities. So those are the parameter development. after that, you synthesize everything, and then you give evaluation. For UX, you do usability testing with the users, while for instruction, you do the evaluation with your users, or you talk with subject matter experts to see if they agree with this or no. And yeah, this is a very iterative process as well, where you can go back to any of the step if you don't like one of your solution, or if you find out, okay, the needs are not validated by users or learners.
Our last question is actually, so after having discussed all these differences and similarities, what do you think, or how would you kind of use those insights to inform your future work, either in instructional design or user experience design?
I think after finding the similarities, I am now having a more open mindset. Like, I can actually use a lot of methods from UX research into instructional design. For example, they both have think aloud method, but how UX researcher use them and instructional designer use them are completely different. So, for example, UX researchers use think aloud to do usability testing with user to see how they complete the tasks online, and then see whether the interactions in a web page is user-friendly or no. While for instruction design, they use think aloud to first talk with subject matter experts to learn about their expert knowledge. Second, they can also conduct think aloud with novice learners. With novice learners, they can find where the errors are. What are some common mistakes from novices? So even though they have the same method, how they use them are very different. And then I just found it very intriguing that even though it's the same method, we can get completely different results. So, but I also like how the new coming position, learning experience design, is a little bit combination of UX and instructional design, just because it focuses more on our users or learners. It starts to, I think one important word from UX or user-centered methodology is empathy. And then I think learning experience designer are trying to build upon that empathy into their contents and curriculum or activities that they are trying to connect themselves with learners. That's just my takeaway after combining my instructional design background or learning background with the HCI methods I'm learning right now.
Yeah, actually, I think that's very insightful, the idea that you brought up about this core, I would say, like, as a quality of experienced designers is be able to be empathetic with the users or the learners, which is like essential to conducting experience design or experience research. So yeah, I've learned a lot from what you have shared with us today, and I'm sure our readers will too, or stir up more discussions or conversations among people who are either in the ID field or UXD field, or who are working as LXD, but who used to be IDs in the past. Thank you so much, Mandy, for sharing with us your insights on the differences and similarities between instructional design, learning experience design, and user experience design. If you are interested in discussing e-learning topics, please feel free to let us know, and let's talk in our next episode.